Hi, it's me, MC of Healthy by George. Think about subscribing. I come here every Sunday to talk about my weight loss journey and every Thursday to talk about actions we can take for our health and wellness as we grow older.
Welcome to Healthy by George. I want you to know that this is for informational purposes only, and it should not be considered as medical advice, nor does it have anything related to my employer. So it's always best for you to check with your own medical provider before you do anything that I recommend or for any medical treatments. So please join me, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode.
So today is Sunday, and I really want to share with you an amazing goal that I've met. I have not been at the weight that I am at in almost 40 years. This is really remarkable. In my early 20s, or maybe my late teens, I can't even remember really, to be honest with you, to be under 200 pounds. So this is a tremendous goal for me. And I don't even know how to really think, to be frank. It's still settling in. I'm a month ahead of my goal. I thought I would have to go through the end of December to meet my final goal weight, but guess what? I'm here. So I am thinking of ways to reward myself. And I recognize very intensely that this journey is not something that is just going to be a one and done. I think that we all are learning that when we are dealing with our weight, that there's a great deal of complexity that is into this. And what I was really very fascinated by was this recent study that demonstrated that there might be these phenotypes for the types of what we call problematic guts. And I was fascinated by it, that they have these 4 phenotypes that you can think about. One is called the hungry gut, where basically you just constantly feel hungry, like nothing makes you feel satisfied. The other one is an abnormal type of food satisfaction, and that you just really don't feel a sense of fullness. I don't quite understand some of these nomenclatures. Maybe it's something that's still under development. There's another one about emotional hunger. I recognize that sometimes when I'm feeling overwhelmed or my feelings are rising up, I think that this is a way that I dealt with them when I was younger. I ate my feelings. How many of you relate to that? And then the other one is a metabolic kind of disruption, where you really are someone who doesn't have a high burning metabolism. And so whatever you eat, you basically take forever to get rid of the metabolism or to use, that your body is an ultra metabolizer. It takes you very little to just keep your body working. So I thought it was very fascinating that they're looking at these phenotypes and that there's a company that you can take your saliva and get somehow tested, and it seems to have some accuracy. I'll leave some information in the show notes. But I think one of the issues that really is prominent is we're understanding that the obesity level, there's my sweet Pete, and he always wants to let me know he's here. My sweet, furry friend, Pete. The obesity crisis is at such a high level that we're going to be seeing close to over 200 million adults who will be obese or overweight by the year 2050, and that of that, the adolescents are 43 million young people. So these are daunting numbers when it comes to being overweight or obese, because I've mentioned before here that I was an overweight young girl. And the challenges of being someone who's overweight when you are an adolescent is not fun. It really isn't. You don't fit in. Finding clothes is a challenge. Getting a sense of your own confidence is problematic. And so what happens is we're constantly challenged with, how do we help people? And for the first time ever, really forever, I've been on a drug, tirzepatide, also known as Mounjaro, that has helped me. And there's now become this complexity that as of October 2nd, the FDA has taken it off of the shortage list. And so now we're talking about more and more lack of access. And this is what makes me frustrated. It's either the lack of access or the fact that it's such a high copay, you can't afford it. And then if you do go without your insurance paying it, it's almost $1,000 or more a month. And then you're taking the risk of dealing with these multiple, just so many, I can't even believe it, companies that are popping up that will provide you a GLP-1, GIP-1 drug. How do we navigate this? And this is where we really have to put on our smart thinking. Work with a doctor that you feel you trust. Work with a pharmacy or a company that has a trustworthy pharmacy, because there needs to be some type of an option for you when there is a lack of access. I think that getting patients to be on these drugs is awesome, but it's so daunting when you think about what it might cost you. I'm so grateful my insurance covers this, but I am frightened that going forward into the new year, somehow I might not have access. So because everybody's looking at this with such scrutiny, even though we know that the cost of our medical care will be reduced if we're on these medications. Losing weight improves our heart function. And who knows what else we might find out as we're on these medications of how it helps with our health and well-being. So until we really understand this kind of what we call the brain and gut axis, and I think that's truly what this is. This hormone or this drug has something in it that helps us managing these elements about our food, eating, consumption, the quality of our food that's not acceptable because it's ultra-processed. At least it's giving us a sense of taking a breath before we overeat, either due to emotions, or it's taking care of that I'm hunger all the time if you have this hunger gut, or it's helping your brain feel a sense of satisfaction with lower amounts of food. So I can't tell you how really circuitous my road to weight loss has been. I think I've been on every drug you can imagine. They mentioned that there's a good medication called phentermine topiramate. Guess what? I was on that, didn't do a damn thing. I was on topiramate alone. I've been on Wellbutrin. And I have to say Wellbutrin does help, but it's not anything that's to write home about. I think it gave me, a 10% or 5% weight loss. Truthfully, these drugs have been a game changer for me. Now, if it were something where I would have to be paying a large amount of money to be paying every month, I truly think I would do it, because what is it if you don't have your health and wellness? Even lately, look at Lizzo. She's recently dropped some weight, and I think that that's an acknowledgement that you really want to be the healthiest version of yourself. I don't think I'm going to be some skinny girl. No. I still will be a larger person, even though I might get a little smaller, below 200 pounds. But I'm never going to be like a size 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever those sizes are. That's a fantasy world. I want to do what I can to make myself the healthiest version of me. And that means eating whole foods. It means showing up for myself when it comes to exercise, lifting weights, making sure that I am moving every single day, because we're learning more and more. If we don't move, we just gonna die. If we're sedentary and we're not moving, we are just not going to have a long, healthy life. My friends, as you are considering your own healthy weight, even if you are someone of a normal weight, maybe you need to think about having a DEXA scan and understanding your muscle to fat ratio. Or now that we have availability of understanding our metabolic rate, I think that's what I'm going to be doing the first quarter. I'm going to be looking into my fat to muscle ratio, because How can you change things if you don't know where you are? You're just guessing. And I think also, too, I'm so curious as to understanding my metabolic rate because I've always suspected I've had a slow metabolism. So as we are approaching the end of 2024, I am really feeling such a heartful gratitude that I was able to get on a medication well over a year ago. I think I'll be on it now a year and 3 months. By the end of this year, it'll be a year and 4 months. And truthfully, I think what'll happen is I will get to a goal weight that I think myself and my medical team feel is optimal, and then perhaps continue to be on a low dose, perhaps. I don't know. This is where I think we all have a lack of understanding of what will help us as we get older and or in some place, in a place that has a lack of gut harmony. Maybe you have to take one of those saliva tests and find out which of those gut paradigm, which gut program I'm part of. Be well, my friends. We have this one precious life. Think about coming back and visiting me here every Sunday and Thursday by subscribing. I want us to have the most helpful, beneficial, easy, simple solutions as we get older so that we can thrive well into our late ages of 80 and 90 and be functional. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
So thank you so much for joining me at Healthy by George. I hope you found the information inspiring and that it encourages you on your wellness journey. Because remember, your body, your well-being are a most precious gift, and every tiny action taken daily can make a huge difference. I hope the information here is educational purposes and is not meant to replace your medical care. See your doctor and talk about what works for you. If you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me continuing creating content that inspires and empowers you to live your best life. Goodbye for now, and join me again at the next Healthy by George.